Okay. That was weird. So anyways, okay. Well, let's go ahead and pray and then we'll get started. I just want to make sure this is all going because I've had problems. There's 2 times I've had problems with the video, and then one time the video worked, and I'm like just trying to make sure um that it is going right. It's like there's 3 different spots, down the corner stop video, then there's a spot down the bottom, and there's a spot up the top. So anyways, oh good. Yeah, that'll be great. Amber says she'll put in a little raising her hand emoji. That'll be good. That'll kind of signal me a little bit more. So, all right, let's pray. Dear Lord, thank you so much for allowing us all to be here tonight. And thank you so much for the beautiful day and all the many wonderful things that have happened. And we just thank you in the good times and the bad times, and know that from everything that happens, it's all part of your plan. And even when it's really bad things that's happening in our life, we know that you'll bring beauty from those moments, and you will help us to get through it and make us stronger because of it. And we just give you all the glory of everything, and we just ask you to help us and guide us to do what you call us to do and to bring light into this world. Amen.
Amen.
All right, and there's Linda. Very good. Linda, I was talking to Mom. Linda is one of my parents' friends, and so I was talking to her about you and saying how excited I was that you've been joining us. So anyways, if anybody ever has any questions or wants to know different signs, just let me know, and we'll be sure to either get to it, or I can, send you a quick little video or something like that so you can see the signs that you want to know. So I see Yvette's joining us, and anyway, so I mentioned earlier before everyone got on that I did post the video finally. I didn't think I'd ever get it done. Just this week's just been insane. I don't know if anyone else has had a crazy week this week, but anyway, so I posted that. And so I sent the link. So let me know if you ever have problems with the stuff that I send out, if you can't access it or anything. And so the link is available, the video is available to view. And so you can just click on the link for the YouTube page, YouTube channel, whatever it is that it's called. And then I sent out the handouts of the signs and the pictures and the list of the words. So anyway, so you have all that to go by. So hopefully this video will work this week, and we'll be able to post it and add it to the YouTube channel that we have on Mount Pleasant's page. Because I know there was a couple people that are missing tonight, and we're hoping to be able to watch it. So, but if ever you can't watch it, you'll be able to have the signs of the words that are on the list, and that's always on the YouTube page. So, all right. So, does anybody have any questions? I asked earlier, but then we've had a couple people to jump on. If anyone thinks of any questions, just jump in there and just ask. Especially since we don't have, a huge group. I mean, it's fine for us to, stop and answer whatever questions come up. So, so the first sign we've got is again, and you can see, hey, Joanne. So we've, we'll wait for Joanne to hop all the way on there and
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I was just telling them that the video is up to watch on YouTube, and you got the handouts, and finally got it all out. But you can see on the handout that there's like a bunch of synonyms that come with the words. And some of, like, I left off a couple of them. I was like, really? Does anybody say that word? So anyways, but know that the words for all of them, even if I leave them off the list, it's always on the page underneath the sign. They have like, which one is, I think it's beautiful. Just has like a slew of different ones. So if ever, I think I left off, did I leave off attractive maybe? No. It was one of the words I left off, one of the synonyms, because I was like, okay, that's overkill. We're just gonna, maybe it was like forlorn or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember what word it was. But anyways, all right. So we'll just start in. So if you need to, go back and review on the YouTube page. If, if you get off of here and tomorrow you say, oh gosh, what was that sign again? And I can't tell from the picture. And, you can always look there. But if ever you have a question, feel free to email me, message me, or whatever. And if there's a word that we haven't touched on that you want to be sure we do, let me know, and we'll make sure that we either I show it to you, by a video that I send you, or I can or I'll put it on the list for the next week. So, all right, so we'll go ahead and start. We've got again an encore. I never would have thought this would be the sign for encore. Encore, I'm going to be honest, and repeat. I've only ever known it for again and repeat, but I'm just thinking encore would be something musical instead of just again. So again, with your if you're right-handed, you're just going to hold your left hand up, and you're going to take that right hand. It's going to be shaped like this, and you're just going to do again. So it's again. It's almost like you're scooping up some flour and you're pouring it into something, again. So if I were to say, I want to see you do that, or just see that again, I'm just going to go see that again. So I just wanted to let you see it like in a running sentence again. Because, sometimes it feels like some words don't quite, you want to make sure that I'm showing it to you like the whole thing of exactly what it's doing again. And then exactly, left hand is the exact same thing, only with your left hand doing the motion. All right, everyone got that one? Like I said, I would think with encore, it would be something like this is a sign for music. So I guess if you want an encore, maybe you would do music. And again, I've never needed to use that. So I was just really surprised to see that as encore. Anyways, so, all right. And then we've got and. So I said on the video that if you think about how your hand is when you're closing the shower curtain, so you're just you've got your hand shaped like this, like you're going to grab something and you're going to just pull it over this way. You're going to go like, if you're with your right hand, you're going to go from your left shoulder to your right. And it doesn't have to be all the way across. Just, just a little spot, just like about how many inches is that? 4 inches maybe? Maybe not even that. Just a little and, yep. And then with your left hand, you're going to go from your right shoulder to your left shoulder. I was getting my lefts and rights so confused on my video today. So anyway, so and. That one makes sense? Everyone good? Mm-hmm. All right, and then we've got bad. So just like we had good from last week or the week before, a lot of times when you're saying something opposite and it's something negative, you're going to like throw it away from you. So you're going to take, and instead of going good, you're going to do bad. So you're taking your hand and throwing it away. So all you're doing is taking it and turning your hand, and instead of it being the back of your hand hitting your left hand, the palm of your hand, the underside of your fingertips are going to hit your right, not your right. See, I'm still getting them confused. It's going to hit your left fingertips. Oh. So bad. And then for a left-hander, yeah, bad. And I've probably done like when I'm just, in the middle of teaching, maybe even interpreting, and just thrown it away and not had my hand there to catch it. And that's okay to do it that way too. I was saying in the video, you have to be careful because this is a sign for hot. So, I mean, it's close to it, but it's not. So, I don't think you'll have a problem if you do that instead of catching your hand with it, if that makes sense. So either way, I think it's kind of like you saying, I'm going to go to the store instead of saying, I'm going to go to the store. It's the same kind of thing. It's almost like what's that slang for it? You're just being quick and sloppy with it instead of being like a neat and like being proper and all that kind of good stuff. So, but either way is fine. All right. So then we've got beautiful. So beautiful, I was telling everybody that this one comes with so many synonyms that can go with that. You've got beautiful, attractive, lovely, pretty, and handsome. So you can see that if you were trying to teach a child the word for beautiful, and you've got all these synonyms that go with it. They're going, which one is it? Or they're just assuming that the sentence is always going to, if you're doing this sign, it's always going to be beautiful, or it's always going to be pretty. So you've got to, make sure that they're learning those other words as well, even though it's the same sign. It just can be confusing, I'm sure. So beautiful looks like it could be confusing, but what you're doing is you've got your fingertips all together, and you've got them here at the side of your mouth, almost like eat, but it's at the side of your mouth. So yep, so on the left side for a lefty, right side for the right. All right, and then what you're doing is you're going up, and you're kind of going, let me show it this way. You're going up and your fingers are coming around. But it doesn't have to be that, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be that perfect, or that, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm just saying it doesn't have to be exact, as long as you're saying that the face, because this is the sign for face, is just you're pointing. So you're just putting that the face, and you're just telling it's just so pretty. It's like, it's just so pretty. Everyone got that one? Now, when we were doing signing exact English, you would do an H around the face for handsome, is what you would do instead. But a lot of people don't use that so much anymore unless you're in a classroom. So you're kind of stuck with beautiful, handsome, gorgeous, lovely. I would think gorgeous would have something else, quite honestly. And I have seen like this, but that's like where you're grabbing at your chin, and it's like you're just going, oh, that means like precious. It can also mean adore. So to me, that almost would be a synonym too there, but it's not. Anyway, sorry, I just throw stuff in there from time to time. All right, so then we've got believe. So with believe and faith both, you start with your number one hand pointing to your forehead. And what you're going to, if you can think of what you're doing, is taking what you think in your mind and you're putting it into your hand and you're holding onto it tightly. So it's just believe. You don't shake your hand. I'm sorry, I just do that sometimes. So you're just taking your hand, taking your number one hand, pointing it to your head, and coming down and like kind of clasping your hands together. So believe. It's what you believe. All right. And let's see. Okay, I was trying to think if there was another one I was going to tell you about, but we'll go on from that. So then Bible, we did Jesus before. Everyone remembers us doing Jesus, and it does not matter which side, which hand you decide to start on. Either way is fine. So you've got Jesus that you're going to do, and then it's time for book. So book is just your two hands touching each other, almost like you're praying, but the book is like it's standing up on the spine of the book, and then you open it. You open it. So this is a sign for book, but if you want to say Bible, I should have put book as one of our words. That would have been really good to do this week. Duh. Anyway, so book, and then all you're doing is before you do book, you're going to put Jesus with it to say Bible. So it's Jesus's book is what it is. It can also be God's word, and it can also be God's book. So Bible. All right, and then child, I talked, child and children, I was talking on the video that I've always done child over here. Because, a lot of times, especially if it's not your child, they're going to be standing next to you. They're not going to be standing in front of you. But a lot of signs I'll see, like the hand facing, like the thumb is at your chest, and they do child, like they're patting the child on their head in front of them. But I learned, like I said, child. So either way is right. And I probably should have just gone ahead and put both of them on there so you could see. But child or child. I just do child. I like that one better. It just feels more comfortable than doing it here, to me personally. So if you want to do more than one child, it's like you have to kind of pretend that you've got different children sitting here. And so you've got children. Now, a lot of times I will start here and do children. I'll do it that way. So any of those ways is correct. You can either put the child here, and so then it would be children. So child is one with the thumb touching your, near your chest. But children, your fingertips are pointing out towards the speaker. And so it's out towards the listener, I guess, actually. And you're bouncing your hand. Or you can do it to your side, child and children. Okay. And then same for your left hand, child and then children. Yep. That one makes sense? Like I said, it's got a lot of different options there. So then we've got clean, nice, and pure. I was surprised that pure was on there just because it's not the way I learned pure, but there again, I learned a lot of initialized signs. So what you're doing is you are taking, for a right-hander, you're taking your left hand facing up. For a left-hander, your right hand is going to be facing up, okay? And then all you're going to do, pretend that this is like an area that you need to clean, and you're simply going to take your hand, your right hand or left hand, whichever hand is doing the motion, your right hand is going to slide across like it's wiping off the hand, clean. And I think we touched on that one last week when we did holy. So, and then left-handers, the left hand is doing the motion. Yep, yep. So clean. And then holy, if you remember, we just did an H and then clean. So it's kind of like you're scooping up all the mess and you're making it clean. I guess that's a kind of a neat way to think about it. You're scooping up all the yuck of your life, and then you're making it clean, and God's making you a more holy person. So that's clean. That is nice. Like it's nice to meet you. You would just go nice, and here's meet. So it's nice to meet you. And of course you point to the person. You is kind of, understood, but I would still do that. Nice to meet you. I feel like I would need to finish my thought on that one. And so it can be, I need to clean the floor. I need to clean the room. I need to clean my heart. I just need to clean. I need to clean it. And then, you're a nice girl. So you've got, all those words that we've used for the past few weeks that you can pair with those. You could say you, and you could do your are, but you don't have to. You are a nice girl, a nice man. Oh, did we go over man and woman? Oh, we haven't. Oh, dang, sorry. All right. Nice girl and a nice boy. Man and woman, since I've already started it. So you do the girl, and then you just put a number 5 hand right on your chest. The thumb just rests on your chest. So woman, and then man is the same thing. It's boy with your hand here. Yep. So, and I'm sure we probably have that like next week or the next. I'm like, oh, whoops. And then, like I said, pure, I thought we always did pure, but I could be getting confused with another sign. But I'm pretty sure that's what I remembered learning, was a letter P going across. But just erase that out of your head and just do your clean, pure, nice, and there you go. All right, so we've got day and all day. So there's 2 different ways you can do day, and you choose which way you want to do it. You can either use the letter to do it or not use the letter to do it. And either way is right. One is not ASL and one's wrong or anything like that. So if you're a right-hander, you're going to put your left arm in front of you. And this is kind of like the ground, the floor, if you will. And then this is going to be like your sun, and it's showing what time of day it is, if you'll imagine that. So you can either just do day, where your hand just goes down, just like your hand is the sun and it's going down. Or you can do a letter D and go down, day. And for a left-hander, your right hand's going to be out in front of you, and your left hand is going to rest on your elbow. Your left elbow is going to rest on your hand. I will get the sides all correct here. All right, so you got day or day. And that can mean day, that can mean all day. All right, and then we've got deaf. Now, in the video, I told you guys that the sign shows two parts to it. I only do the first part. I don't do the second part. I don't know why. I guess it kind of bothers me. It's almost like showing something to somebody that they already know. You know, it's like, duh, you didn't need to tell me that. So to me, it kind of bothers me a little bit. So here we go. So you've got, just like you remember with home was like, it's where you eat and where you sleep. So it was here and here. All right, so we've got deaf is with your number one, and you're going to point to the corner of your mouth and then go up to your ear. So it means deaf, deaf. And that's all you have to do. In the sign, or in the picture on the handout, it has deaf, and then it goes like this, showing that it doesn't work. You know, like, so my mouth and my ears don't work. They're closed off. And to me, it's just one of those, that's kind of, I hate to say it's derogatory to me, but it's almost like, I really don't like that. And so I probably should have gotten one of my other books out, but I thought it would be a good time to kind of point that out to y'all. But if you do both, it is not a negative thing. I mean, that's just the sign that sometimes gets used. So personally, I would go with just the number one, because it shows one is this, and then it shows you to do this. But like I said, I'm not comfortable with it, with pointing that out, because it's just kind of obvious. You know, it's like you've got brown hair. Well, yeah, you don't. You know, I like your brown hair. Like you need to point out that it was brown. You know, it's just kind of. Anyways, all right, so I'll move on from that. So the next one we've got is dirty. Maybe it was this one that had a bunch. Nope, it's not. All right, dirty, filthy, foul, and nasty. And when I think of something that's foul, I think of it being smelly, but maybe they're talking about like a foul mouth, like a dirty mouth. So all you're doing is you're putting your hand under your chin. It's just like a simple number 5 hand, closed under your chin. You're almost like resting your chin on it. And you just wiggle your fingers. Ooh, that's dirty. That's dirty. That's dirty. And so with your left hand, it would be, it's just dirty. Ugh. And like I said, you want to make your face kind of match your sign, you know, so you don't want to go, oh, that's so dirty. Yay. You know, oh, that's dirty. You know, or if someone, maybe foul is supposed to go with like a foul word that you said. So you might go, oh, that was the wrong thing to say, you know, and just kind of get that little bit of an anger, upset mama look on your face kind of thing. All right. So then we've got, maybe it's do. Yes. Okay. So do, I only wrote do, does, activity, and action. But on the paper, it also has conduct, deed, done, and perform. And I didn't put those on there because I was like, oh, that's kind of stretching it a little bit to me. But so when you're signing the word do, this is simply for an action word. This is not for like, do you know my name? Or do you go to school? Did you go to school? Where do you go to school? It's not used for that, not in that word do. This is just like the action word do, which just makes sense because all you're doing is taking your letter C's. So it's the same for left-handers and right-handers, and you're facing them down and you're just going back and forth. Almost like one of those, what are those things that you hit and they go back and forth? It's kind of like one of those things, or even like a metronome or something. It's just going back and forth. You know, just do. So like, let's see, I'm trying to think of an example. So you could say like, you know, his action, you know, was bad. His action was bad. The action that he chose to do was bad. So his actions. But if you're going to say like, do you want to go to the store? You're going to say do. You're going to spell it. Because it's one of those words you don't even have to use. It's kind of a assumed, implied type word. You know, almost like we'll say, hey, want to go to the store? So you leave out the do you and you just say, want to go to the store. So it's kind of the same thing. It's not really a needed word, but if you're putting in do, like, did you do your homework? Did you do your chores? Did you do your, gosh, I can't think, your video? You know, did you do it? Did you do it? We're going to go, oh goodness, we're going to go help grandma to do her housework. So you got do. So if that makes sense. But if you use that for like the word, for the do word that does not imply action, it is not the end of the world. It will be fine. I didn't know that until probably, I don't know, 5 years ago or so, that word is not used for action. I don't remember ever being taught that. But anyways, I have learned it since. But okay, so then the other ones it has on here, it has conduct, which I guess I can kind of see that. But I would think conduct would be like your behavior, you know? And so there's behavior. You know, what's your behavior been like? And all you're doing is you're taking your B and swiping it across your other hand. So exactly. So I would do that more for conduct instead of this one, but it's an acceptable sign that's used for that. And then done, done to me is the same as finished. You know, I'm done. I guess you could use it in, have you done your homework? So have you done, if you want to say it that way, instead of have you done, finished your homework, you know. So I guess you could use it in that sense. And then perform, I think of perform as acting, like you're playing something out. So there you're taking your A's and you're going in circles towards yourself for perform. So yeah, so pull your hands towards you instead of away from you. Go back towards you. Yep, roll them towards you. Yep, there you go. So that's like I'm performing. I'm in the theater tonight. I'm acting something out. I'm performing. So that's why I didn't put perform on there. So I was like, I don't know about that one. But I guess it's an acceptable one. All right, then we've got don't. Okay, so a lot of times people will just use, and this is acceptable. It's not like it's not the right sign. They'll just use not. And so not is one of our later words, not as far as N-O-T, not. So you're just taking a letter A and you're flicking it off of your chin for not. I do not agree with you. I don't like seafood, you know, not, don't. I prefer to use don't. And so that's why I put that sign in there, don't. So you cross your hands over and exactly, I was wondering if a lefty would put their hand more towards them, because I put my right hand towards me. And so that's what I said on the video. I'm guessing since I put my right hand first, a lefty would put their left arm first. And then just, it's like you're canceling something out. You know, you don't need to do that. That's, you know, just don't do that. Don't.
See, I'm right-handed, and it was more natural to put my right hand out.
Okay. See, that's what I was
like it automatically.
Maybe it's just me. And I've done it that way for so long that to do it that way feels strange. So I'm like, well, it must be that must be the way you do it for left-handers then, you know, but you know, it's to each their own, kind of like, you know, which way do you fold your arms? Mm-hmm. You know, that kind of thing. Same kind of thing. So whichever way feels comfortable to you is the way you want to go with it. All right, then we've got feel, F-E-E-L. Sometimes I say that word and I feel like I'm saying the word feel in like a Southern slang, you know, feel, how do you feel? Anyways, just a funny sounding word to me anymore. So you're going to use your 25 hand, and I feel like we've talked about this one before, and you put it here in the center of your chest, and you're just going up like you are feeling the top of your shirt, you know, and you're just showing how you feel. It's kind of hard to get a good angle on that one. There we go. So you're simply doing like this, and you don't have to touch your shirt if you don't want to. You can just do the motion in the air. You know what I mean? That way you don't get like all these little pills right here on your clothes from all this stuff that you're doing right here. Feel and anyways. So, okay, so feel. So we did, that was doing opposite with feel. Very good. Oh, it also has that it's motive and sensation. I can see sensation, you know, sensation, it's a feeling. But motive, I was like, I guess I needed to look up the word motive. Maybe it does have a feeling type sense in one of the definitions of it. I don't know. But when I think of motive, I think of like the reason, you know, like what was your motive behind something? Or I think of he needed maybe like some motivation is what I think of more with that. So I don't think I did include motive on there. But I was like, I don't know about that one. So, but anyways, just know it's one of the synonyms for it. And then I want to make sure I didn't skip one. Nope, feeling. All right, so then we've got happy, delight, glad, joy, and merry are all the same. So it's kind of confusing on the paper. It looks like you're rolling it out is what it looks like. That's why I always say it's so hard to learn from a book. But all you're doing is, it's like you're making yourself feel more chipper. You know, it's like what you want to, that's what it makes me think of. So it's like you're just patting yourself and going up. And like I said, if you don't want to hit your shirt or hit your chest, you know, because you could really smack yourself, but you know, it's just happy. And you can do it with just one hand as well. You don't have to do two. You can do just one. Happy and happy. Now with joy, I go back to doing it with two hands, but stacked on top of each other. Joy and enjoy is what I do. But know that this is the same as well. Joy and enjoy. And so that's where it can get really kind of confusing for someone either who's deaf, someone who's learning, or a child who's trying to figure out what in the world word are you trying to say to me. So it's, and merry. Now we had learned, of course, with M's to do merry. You know, so you got like merry, and then you got Christmas. So merry is just with happy, and then Christmas. So just like we did day going down, just have your arms there, and you take a C and you bring it up. Christmas. Merry Christmas. And you don't even have to use this hand. You can just do merry and Christmas. So you can use it without your hand, without the one arm. So you can just do Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Yeah, it's like pretty. It's a pretty little banner. I wish it was a little bit more religious, actually, when I think about it. But anyways, all right. So then we've got hard of hearing. Yes. Okay. So we did deaf. So then hard of hearing is your H, but your H is pointing towards, you know, like away from you, towards the person that you're speaking to. And you're just going to make a hill like with it, hard of hearing. It's like it's just going, it's like you're just tapping it. It's almost like you got a drumstick in your hand and you're tapping it 2 times. One on this side, one on that side. Hard of hearing. And probably if you just go H, H, and don't even put any motion in it, that will be fine as well. I'm just so used to bouncing it on one side and then the other. Hard of hearing. Hard of hearing. And like I said before, most people are hard of hearing. There's very few people out there who are completely deaf that can't hear anything, that can't hear when they're standing outside with their back towards the road and they can't hear the fire truck going by with the whistles blaring and everything. And I mean, there are people out there who can't, but it's more rare that's the condition, I guess. I was trying to think what the word is that would come after that. So then we've got hate. We've got hate, despise, detest. There's the loathe. And and there it is. And it was abhor. I was like, oh my goodness, you abhor something. You just can't stand it. So what you're doing is you're taking, this is the sign for 8. And actually, I think it's actually, you touch the fingertips. So we're gonna, instead you're holding your fingers. It's like you're keeping them from getting away from you. And then you just throw it out there like, oh, I just hate that. I hate it. Hate it. I really don't like using the word hate. My mom always laughed at me because she was like, well, you won't let your boys say hate. What do you let them say? I was like, they don't like. And she was like, what if they really, really don't like it? I was like, then they really, really don't like it. I was like, I just don't like the word hate. It sounds so mean and so, oh, just like a punch in your gut. I was like, it's just a rough word, to hate anything. I mean, I don't like seafood, but I wouldn't say that I hate it. I mean, I wouldn't eat it, but I wouldn't say I hate it, so I don't know. Anyway, so don't like. No, sorry. Hate, hate, hate. I'm sitting there trying to get don't like in my head. Sorry. So then we've got kids. So we had child, and sometimes, some people just say kids. So this is just a silly sign that I thought I'd throw in there. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold just your index finger and your pinky up on whichever hand you're using, and you're going to put it under your nose, and you don't have to touch your nose with your index finger if you don't want to, and you're just going to go up and down with your pinky, but the whole hand is twisting, really like the whole arm, because I can see like all of this is moving. So this is a sign for kid. And the reason why they did a kid like that is because a lot of times children have runny noses and they're all the time, having to wipe their nose. So someone thought that, I guess, would be a cute way to do the sign for kid. So anyways, if you don't want to talk about a runny, snotty nose, you can just do child instead. So totally up to you. So then we've got like and admire. I'm looking on here, and I think I took the sign off for the one that I added there. I think I sure did. I have to remember to not miss that one. Okay, so then we have like. So like, you're simply, remember how we did feeling like this? This time instead, you're going, it's almost like you're pinching something with your middle finger and your thumb. So if you just kind of touch them together, all right, and then put that on your chest and you're pulling it. It's like pretend like you've got a little piece of lint right there and you're trying to pull it off. Or like you've got this necklace and you're trying to pull it away from you, but you're doing it real daintily or something. And you could pull your shirt, but you might not want to. So just that you like that. You like that. You like. So it's like, it's also admire. But then if you don't like something, remember how we said you throw it away from you, you're going to throw it away. You don't like it. So it's just like hate, but you're just doing the opposite. So you don't like. I need to teach my mom those words. Linda, I know, is sitting there laughing at me because she knows my parents. Anyways, that'll be a good conversation when y'all go camping again sometimes, Linda, with the horses or something. So like and don't like. Don't like. And if you really want to, use your hate. And you could, I'm trying to think if you could do it with just one hand, like bad and hate. I don't know that I've ever seen it with just one hand, but I guess, if you're just kind of talking with a friend and you're hanging out, you just like, I hate that. I'm sure you could just do it with one hand, just like you do bad. But don't like. So, but like I said, it's not on my list. I erased it off of there. So I'm going to have to fix that and add don't like. I have edited this list so many times this week. It's been crazy. All right. And then you'll also notice that at the very end, I was having a hard time finding the sign for don't like. And anyway, so I finally found it. So that's why it's at the end of your sheets, and it's not in alphabetical order. So I apologize for that, but it is there all the way at the end. Because to get it in there, it would have been tough. I would have had to redo all of them. So anyway, so there's your don't like is at the end. All right, so then we've got mad. All right, so you've got happy, You've got good, and then you've got bad and your hate, and that you don't like something, and then you can really say that you're mad about something. So it's like you're pulling, it's almost like you're pulling something away from your face, like you're taking your happy face off and you're putting on your mad face. So you put your hand kind of not like a claw, but straight out, I guess, more, and cover your face, and then pull it away with a claw. Mad. You're mad. And you don't even have to, now that I think about it, you don't have to pull it away. You can simply just scrunch your hand. You're just mad. You're mad about something. You're mad. Does that one make sense? I was kind of thinking of the green, oh gosh, what's his name? The Hulk. I was thinking of the Hulk. It goes from all of a sudden being all happy and fine to he pulls off his, happy normal self and becomes green and all mad. All right, so then we've got made and we've got make. So not made like a person that cleans, but M-A-D-E, made. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to make S's and you're going to stack them on top. For me, I put right on top. Yep. So I'm thinking for a lefty, you put the left on top. So yeah. And then made, make, made. Excuse me. I was trying to remember. Yes. When I was doing the video, I was trying to think, do I use both hands? You just do things without even thinking about it. And so when I had to stop and think, I was like, do I move both hands? I think I do. But I was like, oh gosh, I might be wrong. But okay, yes. So both of them do move. That's what I was not trusting myself. So, and then I was showing on the video that if you just go around in a circle with the one on top, like you're stirring something, does it remind you of anything that you might be making? So this one's holding, your one on the bottom's being held still. The one on the top's going around. This one's not on our list. This is a sign for coffee. So it's kind of funny how you could make some coffee. Anyways, all right, so you got made, make, and we already did not, which was the next one, not. And then people, I know we've talked about like people as far as like the ER ending, so like teacher, like student, you've got study, and then a person, so a student. All right, so here we just want to say there are people outside waiting for you. So you take your letter P's, you take both of them, and you make them go in a circle away from you. So your circles are going out away from you. Yep. And it kind of feels weird, but you don't have to make your circles real big. They can just go really little, just little people. Just go around. And you don't have to do it a lot. Like if I were to say, I saw people over there, I would just do, I saw people over there. So just like a couple times. Yeah. People. So people. And then we've got person. So like we said, you can either do person, just like this, the shape of their body being straight up and down, or you can do it with P's and do person. Either one is right. I believe on your sheet, yes, it shows it with a P, person. So there are some words that still use that initialized first letter to show which word you're saying, person, or you can do person. Either one is good. And you've got the person one on one of the other sheets from earlier that we did. All right, so then, all right, so we said happy, we did mad, and we did like and hate. So now we've got sad and sorrowful. So I'm going to look and see. Okay, yes, this is the one that had some others. So it says sad, dejected, despondent, downcast, forlorn, gosh, I can hardly say that, forlorn, and sorrowful. So you got just a big plethora of words that you can use for sad. So sad is simply you're putting your hands up, and I'm trying to see, yes, put your hands and you just go down. You're sad. So kind of like the thing where you go, you're happy, and then you're sad, sad. So you want to use both hands and just go down your face. It's like you're taking away all the happiness out of your face, and it's making you just very sad. Okay, so sad, sorrowful. All right, so the next one with say, speak, talk, and I even threw hearing person in there. There's a reason why I did that. In this, the first sign that I've got here for say, that's from the Signing Illustrated book, they've got the words say, mention, remark, speak, speech, state, and tell. They've got all of those words in there for the one sign that they use for say. I've just learned some other ones as well, so we'll start there. So if you can imagine like the words coming out of your mouth and they're like just rolling up on a tape because you're just talking and talking and talking and you're saying things. Okay, so it's like you've got your finger, your index finger rested near your chin, and you're just going around a circle away from you. Yep, just say. And you don't have to touch your chin. You can, I mean, I'm sure I start out doing that, and then depending on how often I have to say, I don't keep touching it. So then a lefty, you can do say. Here we go. All right. So this can also be, this is why this can be confusing. It can also mean a hearing person. Like the assumption is because you're hearing, you're going to be able to say something. You're going to be able to speak, which we know isn't always true. I mean, there's children, of course, they didn't know this back in the days when possibly when sign language was coming in, when it was being developed, that there are children who can hear perfectly fine, but they can't speak. So, so it's not necessarily an assumption, that they can't hear, or that they can't speak. So anyway, so this is a sign for say, speak, and hearing person, which is kind of like that came out of left field kind of thing. So that's in there, hearing person. So I use this for say, like if I were to say, what did you say? But if I'm saying that, well, I won't get to that one. There's another one. I'll get to the one that I usually use. So I'll use this for say. Then we've got another sign I put in there for talk, communicate, conversation, dialogue, interview. So it's when you and another person are staying there conversing back and forth. You're not just talking to the air. You're not just even talking in the phone. You're this time there's a person there and you're having a conversation back and forth. So you're talking, you're communicating. So all you're doing is your number ones are going out back and forth, opposite. You don't want to go this way because this is a sign for answer. Okay, so what's your answer? Going back and forth means that you're talking, which, I mean, that one really matches, to me, it really matches that word because you're saying something to the person and then they're saying something. So it's like you're just taking turns talking back and forth. So if I were to say talk, I'm going to go with talking just because I think that's how I learned it. So you've got a number 4 and you're just touching your chin, talk. So any of those are good. If you use this one for talk, you're fine. If you use this one for talk and even say, you're okay. So I think all 3 of them are just interchangeable for all of those words. We had learned communicate because it was with initializing the first letter of the word. But now it's more just talking back and forth. It's with the number ones and talk. All right. So then we've got today. So we learned day and then we learned day either way. All right. So if you want to add today, you want to do now with it. And I feel like we went over now. But anyway, so now is you do your 2 Y's and they point up almost like Spider-Man. And you just go now. And like I said, yeah, you can really get forceful and go, I want you to do it now. I said now, right now, and I mean it now. So you're going to add your day to it, and that will be today. So now, day. So now, and then day. Yeah, so today. And I know that feels kind of weird. So it's your Y's. There you go. Yeah. I have to do that all the time too, Joanne. Get them, shake them out, shake them out. It's like, okay, raise your hand. All right, now go back. So now and then day, today. And then for lefty, yeah, yeah, you guys got it. You guys are doing good. You guys are awesome. Now and day, exactly. So you got today. So, you know, we've got the words from last week of like, what? So, so you could say, what did you do today? So you could do like either what, or you can do what. So what, and if you want to sign every word, what did, because there again, it's not the action word, did. So all you're doing is doing D, I, and D. So what did, gosh, my fingers are wanting to stick together. They're getting hot. Did you do, and then today. And of course, you want a little question on your face, you know, what did you do today? So, yeah. So, no. I know. Just play with it. You've got to play with it and look at your words and go, okay, let me make a crazy sentence with all these words. Gosh, my dog's giving me a heart attack. And just put them all together and make different sentences, different questions, and all different kinds of things, you know, to kind of get the flow going a little bit more. So something I did for the class, the couple classes I've had before where we've gotten this far, and we still have a few more words, but with getting this far, with week number 5, what I did is I came up with like just a bunch of sentences. I mean, like the whole page had nothing but sentences on it. Would y'all want to do that, where we just put together a bunch of crazy words together and make sentences? Or do you want to learn more words for next week? What do y'all think? I mean, it's totally up to you. I hate to keep throwing, I feel like I'm giving you all these words, but then there's sentences at the bottom, you know, for you to practice. But then we could do both, I guess. We could do some like the beginning of the class next week. We could go over sentences, reviewing the words that we've done so far, and then we could add more to it. We could do it that way. So, you know, if you all are good with that, maybe we'll just do that. So that instead of just adding, you know, 30 more words, we can practice the however many we've done so far. All right, so we'll plan on doing that. All right, so we did today, so we've got tomorrow. So tomorrow. So you're going to take an A with your thumb sticking out, and you're going to rest it on the side of your cheek or at your jaw, and you're going to flick your thumb forward. Tomorrow. Yep. Tomorrow. Yep. So you've got today is not tomorrow. Tomorrow. All right. So let's just go, since we did today, we did tomorrow, let's just do yesterday, and we'll do all of them right there in a row. We'll just skip and we'll come back to our W's. All right, so yesterday is you're going to take a Y. I feel like we've done so much stuff with that movement. You start here at the corner of your mouth again, and then you go back to your ear. So it's like you're just touching here and then going back to there. Yep, so yesterday. So we did, gosh, what all have we done? We've done deaf and home and yesterday. I feel like there's been another one, but maybe that is it. But anyways, so yes, so we got yesterday. So we got yesterday, and then tomorrow, and then today. Yeah. All right. So then if we go back to when, so we did what and we did how. All right. So we've done those two already. So then we've got our other WH questions. So we've got when. So with a right-hander, you're going to stick your number 1 finger up. Okay. And your pinky side of your hand is pointing towards the other person that you're talking to. And your right hand is going to go around. It's like you're drawing this circle around the top of your finger. So it's like you start back here on the back of your hand and you go around to win. Yep, you guys got it. Yep, going in the right way. I guess that's clockwise. That looks clockwise to me. So then a left-hander is going to have their number one right finger up, and then they're going to go around. When. Yep, good. So you've got what and how. You remember how? Yep. Remember that was like our church. There you go. Yep, how. That one almost feels kind of strange. It's like you feel like you should be doing something a little bit more, but it just stops. How. What, how, and when. All right. And then we've got who. So on the paper, and I apologize, I probably should have found both of the signs, but it shows this little man almost looks like they're putting a mustache all the way, or like they're putting lipstick around the outsides of his lips. So you're just going to take that number one again, and you're going to go around your mouth. Like, who? Who are you talking about? Who? How I do who is I probably go more like this. So this is like a question. So then you've got who. So either one is right for who, but how I've got it on there is just the who. So I apologize for that. I can add who, the other one, so y'all have it. That's just the one that they showed in the Citing Illustrated book. So who or who. All right, so then you've got why, okay? And we did where. That's right, we already did where. We did where a couple weeks ago. We did where and what, I guess, together. Okay, so there you're just, it's like, where is that? Where's my house? Where's my home? So you can see, so you can add like, okay, well, what kind of word can I put with these words that I've learned? How can I make a sentence and that kind of stuff? All right, so you've got why. So why, you start up here like you're going to touch, and you don't have to actually touch your hair, and then you're going to pull it down to the letter Y. So you're touching here, let me make sure, and then you're going to go down to the Y, and you're going to pull it away from you a little bit. And then for a lefty, you're going to go Y. Does that one make sense? All right, so another way you can do why, sometimes you get those children who are like, why? And they're just like, they just won't stop. They want to know why, because their whole little world has been turned upside down. So for that one, you can do why, and all you're doing is you're flicking that middle finger for the 25, and you have it up here, and you're going, why? So it can be either that person that's standing there in front of you that just keeps going on and on. Well, why, Mom? Why? Why can't we do this? Why can't that happen? Blah, 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 blah. All right. So then you also will see deaf people doing this, where the one person is telling the other one a story about something. And it's the type of story that makes you go, why? Why would that person do that? Or why would that happen? Or just why, so they'll be standing there while the other person's talking, while the other deaf person or the other person who's signing is telling the story, and the deaf person will sit there and be going, why? Like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. So it's the same thing as how we react by saying, well, that was crazy. Why was that person doing that? So you kind of interject in before the person's done with their story. So, and I apologize, I don't have that one on there either. But those are kind of like slang things, that you don't always see. You surely wouldn't see an interpreter standing up there going, why? So you're going to see them going, why, instead, typically. All right, so then we've got will, future, shall, and would. And I know I showed y'all that, you could do a W out to a D, but you can also just simply go, I would, I will. This is the future. This is what's coming up ahead. Okay, so all you're doing is holding your hand like this, and you've got it at the side of your head, and it's just going to the future. That's like one of the easiest signs I think there is. It doesn't require too much sweat involved in that one. So will. will, future, shall, would, all of those are all inclusive. All right, and we did yesterday. We already did that one. All right, so we've got, goodness, all right, we went through those quick. I feel like, man. And we got don't like. We went over that one. Okay, so what kinds of questions you guys got, or what you want to do for the last 30 minutes, or do y'all want me to let you go early? What y'all want to do? We can go over some of the sentences that we have. Some of the sentences that I've got here. Just looking at one of the words going, I can't remember if we did that word or not. But anyways,
I have a hard time with the whole possessive, the we, the are, the like.
Okay.
I've tried and tried, and I just kept messing up every time.
Yep. So the we versus our versus us. If you simply do this one, it'll be fine for we, our, and us. That I have done that for years and years and years and years and years of just simply we, our, us. It's if you want to, I don't want to say fancy it up, but if you want to show that you're using this word instead of that word, if you want to show that you're doing us and we. Now in the book, it shows, how was it showing? I'm trying to remember, because see how I do it, I know is different. So I believe it was doing us. No. Yes, because I do that. See, so I get confused. I get myself thrown off. So they do this one for us, and then our and we, I believe, is the other one. So, but I would, just to make it easy on yourself, I would just commit to your memory just to do it this way. Because if you can imagine that if you're going to use the word we or us or our, you're going to have at least two people. It's at least going to be you and another friend. So, it's us. I'm trying to think how to use us. Anyways, it's our family. We need to go there. We are going to do something. So I would just try to remember that, because then you can also, here, I'll throw another one at you, Joanne. You can also do we. So it's the letter K, but it's pointing up. Yep. And you're just going back and forth. Kind of like you're on a rocking horse, but your hand's going back and forth. So you can do like we. So there's sometimes there's like a gazillion different signs that you can do for one word, and it can just boggle your mind. But if you just stick to, okay, this one will suffice for all of them, for we, our, and us. Yep, just make it easy on yourself. Don't, like my husband always says, don't kill yourself, girl. It's okay. Don't knock yourself out. So yes, it will be fine. And if the person wants more clarification, are you saying we, us, or our? Which I don't think anyone's going to do that. You could always spell it to them, but I don't think anyone's going to do that. Now, like I said, when I was learning, the signed exact English, you would do the we with a W. The our was with an O. I don't know that we did an us with a U. We maybe did sometimes, but I want to say we just did it like that. So, it's all good. Just make it easy on yourself. Yep, just go with one. And like I said, don't let this overwhelm you. I like putting all the synonyms on there so that if you want to set your handouts aside, you can kind of quiz yourself with them without having to. You remember when you're a kid or whenever, and you're trying to quiz yourself, and you would take your paper and you would cover up the thing, and then you were trying to. So it's just avoiding that, and then you've got a sheet that you can just go, okay, I'm going to see how much do I remember. And then you can always put a little mark by your words that you're having a hard time with. And then, you could always take your paper and your signing paper, and you could cover up the words. Let me see if I got this going right. And you could put it like that and try to figure out what it is that the person is saying. And you could do that with all of them. If you want to get all of your practice sheets out, all of the ones that have the signing on, and you could mix them all up like you're mixing up cards and pull out one and just say, okay, let me see if I can remember that. And, and that would be a good way to kind of go over them too, because it can be really, really overwhelming. I mean, our first semester when we were learning, I think I shared that probably after the first 2 weeks, because you figure you had class Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it was an hour long each class. And so after 2 weeks, you can imagine how many words you got thrown at you. And so you had a decent amount of words so that you could carry on a little bit of a conversation. And they threw us into the School for the Deaf that was out there. And they said, okay, you got to volunteer for homework night, which was, I think, every Thursday night or something. And you got to pick, do you want to go help the middle schoolers or the high schoolers? You didn't get the little cutie pie elementary kids. You got to deal with the middle school and high school. Which one do you want? And I always went to the middle schoolers. But anyway, so, that really got you into it to see, is this really what I want to do? And it was a really good test, to see, can you use what you've learned? And there are a lot of, there's organizations out there that do what's called like Deaf Night or Silent Night, they'll call it, Quiet Night, something like that, where the group, and I don't know, they're probably not doing it right now, but a group of deaf people would all get together and go to a restaurant, and they would reserve a room, and you can just all hang out and talk and all this and that, and everyone's together so you can see what everybody's saying to each other. And it's really neat, because then you've got people who don't use sign language that are walking by going, oh my goodness, wow, look at all those people. So, you can contact the Services for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. And if y'all are interested, I can put that, and I can put the information on I can send it out in an email. Hard of hearing information. If I don't write it down, I won't remember. And you can contact them and find out when is the next event that they're having. And there's a Services for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing in Lexington, is the one for Davidson County. There's one in Winston for Forsyth, and then there's one in High Point for Guilford County. And there's probably one in Greensboro too, I would almost bet. And they might have one in other towns like Archdale and Denton, but I'm not sure. But I know one time my younger son, who's now 17, we were walking in the mall over at Haynes Mall, and we walked by in the food court, and we were walking over to the Chick-fil-A, and he said, and neither one of us noticed anything. We got over to Chick-fil-A, and I turned and looked, and I said, oh my gosh, Jake. I said, look, don't look over there really quick. I said, but just very slowly turn your head and look at all the people to the left who are signing. And he just turned and he looked back at me. He said, oh my gosh, Mom, what's going on? And I said, I mean, there was just the entire courtyard over by the windows, if you know, with Haynes Mall, it was that whole section they had that they were using, and they were having a deaf night where they were just hanging out, talking. It was a group of people that go to a church together and other people they'd met in the community, and they just all come together, and there's not a sound being made. It's just all kinds of this. And every now and then you get, you'd get some sounds from different ones. But yeah, so Jake's like, Mom, you need to go talk to them. It's like, oh my, Jake, what am I going to say to Jake? I did go talk to a few ladies though and let them know about our church and everything. So that was neat. But so anyways, and then there was a group in Thomasville that met at what used to be, I'm trying to think what it is now. It's called something Kitchen, University Kitchen is in Thomasville, and they will go there sometimes. Sometimes they'll go to Sunrise. They'll just go to different restaurants and just all get together, just kind of bring awareness to the community so that, hey, there are people out here that don't, communicate the way you and I do. And it might make someone interested to want to learn about some sign language, So, all right. Does anybody else have any other questions? Anybody think of anything? No? Do you want me to go over some of the sentences that I have here, or are y'all good and you want to quit for the night? I keep looking over there because my little clock's over there. Sorry. So, I mean, it's up to y'all, whatever you want to do. It's dead silence. Dead silence. Oh, wait, someone may have said something. I'm not paying attention. Oh no. Oh, Rose said that she couldn't see. I needed to turn on the light. Oh.
It would help whenever you step back from the computer if you turn on the overhead light. Yeah,
Well,
it gets a little dim.
I'm concerned because I was afraid it puts like a, almost puts like a, maybe that would help. I was
Maybe.
afraid it puts too much glare on the screen. I guess when I was sitting, I used to be sitting over a little bit further by the window. And so, you know, when it was like that, it was like it was shining right on there. So that's why I didn't.
Right.
But
Yeah,
yes,
that makes sense. Yeah.
yes. If ever I don't answer you guys, feel free to, you know, just jump in and say, hold on, Stephanie. Hold on. Because I'm, like I said, I have a very hard time keeping up with the chat. Okay, Belinda says go with the sentences. Yvette says go with the sentences. Okay, all right. So, or oh, y'all may have been saying sentences for next time. I think that's what y'all were saying. Yeah. Okay, so there's a bunch of sentences here that y'all can go through, and I will send out the information for the services for the deaf and hard of hearing. And then next week when we meet, how about we'll just go over a bunch of sentences and just put all of these words in just a huge variety of ways to use them. So it'll make you be able just to put them all together. So does that sound good? Y'all want to do that? Yeah. Okay. So we'll just.
I did want to ask a question to see if anybody, not necessarily you, because you have many years of experience, but everybody else, I have to absolutely think about the alphabet, and I've done it 1,000 times probably. I keep practicing it in the car, but I can do other signs very easy.
Yeah.
Like I can do words easy, but the alphabet, and I've been trying to forward, backwards. I didn't know if anybody else is just me. Am I special? I know I'm special, but
have you tried singing it like doing it along with
I have, and you should see it. I'm like A. See, then I'm like A, B, C, and then I'm like, oh, D, E. Like
now,
I mean, it's in my D and my F is messed up every time.
Yes, and that is very normal. That is very normal to get your D's and your F's, and it's very normal to have to go, now hold on, how does that shape look? Okay. I mean, I was the same way, you know, my freshman year of college. I mean, it's just, yeah, it is, there's nothing wrong with what's going on. Yeah. And some, you know, I mean, everybody's different too. Like some will pick up on the alphabet easier and some pick up on the words easier, and vice versa. Some pick up on the words easier and not the alphabet. Yeah, I think I just said the same thing, but you know what I mean. So I think it's the same kind of thing. It's like someone picking up on math and not picking up on language arts. You know, it's the same. I've got one son that's really good at math and one that's really good at language arts. And, you know, I mean, it's the same kind of thing, I think. And yes, D's and F's, K and P, G and Q. I mean, you know, the M, N, and T, you know, you can get confused on trying to figure out. But now if you would like, we can go back through the alphabet, or I could throw out letters and y'all, you know, come up with it, you know, and that might be something that would be interesting to do, since you and your husband were working on it a little bit together. You could always say, he could be sitting there at the table or in the car and say, okay, do the letter C. All right, do the letter F. Because then once we add the numbers, that's a real fun one then. That's why I used to put letters and numbers and do them on the same lesson. And I've learned, no, don't do that. Don't do that anymore, because you get the D and you get the F and then you get 9. And so it can be, you know, a little too much. So, but yeah, did anybody else want to add something?
No.
No?
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
All right, so everybody else is good on the other ones?
Yes.
Anybody have any suggestions for Joanne? I'm trying to, I think just the more and more, well, you were saying you're fine though with doing like words, like spelling out words. Well, that's interesting now that I think about it. You know, like if you spell out caboose, but then
No, like
no, okay, like the
word,
actual word words.
Yes, yes.
The signs with
not
the
the spelling.
Gotcha. Not with just spelling. Gotcha. Okay, because I was like, I was like, well, maybe.
No. And like when the girl and her little boy, he spelled, I stared at that and I still never got his name. If you
Right. Well, and I got nervous and I was like, hold on, wait, what? Oh, yes, that was Amber's. Amber was on here. I don't know if she's still here or not.
But yeah, my husband is actually very quick with his hand. He does it all he used to do it all the time, but he's like, oh, that's easy. I'm like,
yeah, no, it's not. No, it's not.
And I don't know if my hands, they just don't want to do it.
Yeah. And I think it just takes time.
But yeah, I've been doing it driving down the road several times. And I've been spelling stuff if I stop at, if I see our sign or we're on my way home and I'll start spelling.
Yeah.
Trying to make myself.
With the radio, just pick out a word that you hear them say, or, you hear, a crazy word, some word like forlorn, and you're going, what in the world? I feel like I'm back in English class again, forlorn or whatever, and just try to spell that one out. Just to kind of challenge yourself something. The word challenge. I mean, think of some harder words. But if it's too much, then go back to, okay, I'm going to go back to, smaller words and just build up to it. Don't let yourself get frustrated with it. It's like anything. It comes with practice. I mean, my son is taking Spanish 1. He's a senior, and I took 5 years of Spanish in school, and there's very little that I can say anymore. I mean, it's like if you don't use it, you truly lose it. I mean, there's some things I can say. He'll ask me questions and sometimes I can answer him, but if you get back into the practice of it, then you pick it up pretty quickly. But something that's new, especially not being 18 and under, it does make it more challenging. The brain doesn't want to retain all that stuff as much anymore. So, but something you can do too is walk around your house. Like we've all got free time. In your imaginary free time, that's what I always say, in my imaginary free time, you can walk around your house and just do like door, and then, window. There, my finger didn't want to do the eye, a window. And then you can do picture, and just take your time. Don't feel like you have to rush, because then it's just gonna be like, well, your fingers are just gonna not agree with you, and just, there you go. You can do dog, and then you can do bark, and just go with it. And the more you do it, the more fluent it becomes. And say the word. For me, that really helps. Probably at the beginning, I probably spelled them. And I think our professor said, okay, don't spell them anymore, because then you're more apt for it to be choppy, like D-O-G. And if you just go dog, it comes off a little bit easier with practice. Don't, you can't expect to just be right out of the gates and be able to do it right away. So, but yeah, you can do a fan, and a poster, and, you just kind of have to take your time with it. Go with curtains I see in your background, and a couch, and an earring, I mean, just all of those things, when you've got some of that imaginary free time. There you go. So that's the best way to do it. Or if you're sitting reading and you're looking at a magazine, if you feel like just taking a break, and you could sit there and spell the words that you see, that's another thing you could do. And like I said, the sentences that you have here, you could spell all the words. You could do you feel happy today? So do, and then take a little pause. So do, and then you feel happy today. So you just kind of have to, you just got to build yourself up. That's all it is. It will get better, I promise you. And I'm impressed that you can go backwards in the alphabet, because I would really have to think very hard on that one. I might have to do that just to prove to myself I can still do that. But, you know, and there's times I'm like alphabetizing something and I have to stop and go, hold on, A, B, C, D. Okay, G comes before the H. That's right. I always get those two, you know, G, H, right? No. See, there I go again. I don't trust myself. G, H. Yes, it is the way it is. Crazy. 48 years old and I'm still saying the alphabet. So, all right. Has anybody got anything else?
No, but I did wanted to ask, because I know that you mentioned last week that you were gonna do that song, The Blessing.
Oh, yes. Oh, that song was so good. It was so good. I have shared our, so our church goes live on Facebook, on YouTube, on our website, and even we have a Mount Pleasant app that you can download. And there's something else. Oh, there's some other site. I can't think of what it's called that they also use. Vimeo, maybe? It might be Vimeo, where we go live. And so on Facebook, they'll share it. And so then I'll take and I'll share it. So you can just kind of fast forward through there, or I could even fast forward through there and find where we do it. Because I think we did that. We did that one was the last song. So you can go, I can send the link to all of you. And you can go through and you can watch all the different songs that we did. And you can watch all the crazy interpreting that I did for the 9:40. It wasn't 9:45. It was the 8:30 service because we had celebration Sunday. So we had 10 people that got baptized. And so we did the service, the sermon was at 8:30 because we had one person getting baptized. And then at the 9:45 is typically when we go live, but we had 9 people getting baptized and there was no way Chris could get through the whole sermon and baptize 9 people. So, but I can reshare that.
Baptized, like when you put in a special water.
Yes.
Just in sort of the special water, you hold your breath.
That's right.
And you put your one. You do that?
Mm-hmm.
And you go back in the water. That's right. That's right. And so I don't think I've shown y'all the sign for baptized. So you've got your A's, thumbs up, and you go back and then come up. So that one really matches. I always like that, baptize. So like a left-hander's gonna go to the right with your thumbs and a right-hander's gonna go to the left. But you know what? Either way, it's gonna be right. I think it goes back to the same thing of which way feels more comfortable to you. Like I feel I can do it this way, but I want to go that way more. So either way. But yeah, I can.
How do you say yes with your hands?
Yes. So you just make a letter S and you go up and down. Yes, it's just like your head is nodding right there. Yes. Yeah. There you go. All right. So I'll share that. Is everybody on Facebook? Are we all friends on Facebook? I think, but I'm not sure. No. So either I can send requests or I can just send you the link to everybody's email, either one. And I'll just do that. And just know that the blessing song is at the end of the service. But yeah, with one baptism.
I watched, I didn't watch the whole service, I'll be honest, but I watched part of it to see if I could recognize what you were saying.
Right.
I mean, to try to figure out words.
Yeah, and that's an excellent way, to just sit there and watch and see if there's something you recognize. That's really good, because I've told my son, who loves Spanish and thinks he might want to be an interpreter, I said, it's one thing to say the words, to sign the words. It's a totally different part of your brain to figure out what someone is signing and saying to you. It's like it takes this other part of your brain to sit there and interpret it and figure out and put it in the right word order and all that quickly. That does take a lot of practice. And that is one area that I am rusty on, because I'm not around deaf people like I used to be. So it frustrates me. But anyways, once all this COVID stuff's gone, I can go back and, get with some people at the services for the deaf and hard of hearing. So that would be good.
Well, I'm Hispanic, so my main language is Spanish. So if he needs to practice, that would be
Hey,
really
that would be awesome. I will let him know he would love that. He loves it. He's walking around saying all kinds of stuff. You know, Mom, I'll say tiempo tomorrow, mañana. Yeah, I mean, just okay. And they're going, let me think. Hold on. And then he said something like, "What season are we in?" I have no idea how he said it now. And I was sitting there going, "Is that really how you say the word season?" And he said, "Yeah." I was like, "Huh." Like, I don't remember that one. So, but anyways, I was like, I know season. I know season in sign language. I was like, but season in Spanish? Nope. What one do you say for season?
no, temporada.
Oh, temporada?
Temporada. ¿Qué temporada? Wait, Christian. Does he mean season, like a holiday season, or?
Yes. Not to season your food, but yes.
Okay. La temporada de Navidad.
Exactly. That's pretty much what he said. And I was sitting there going, did you just say temperature? Did you say time? Oh, goodness, Jake. So,
what is the difference between temporada and estación?
Oh.
Depends on what you're saying on the sentence. Like we're in the holiday season. Estamos en la temporada de Navidad. But if you're saying like it is winter, eso es la estación.
En verano. Okay.
Huh.
Invierno, perdón. Yeah. Verano y invierno. I'm a little rusty.
Exacto.
Oh,
Gracias.
So estación is like the season, but meaning like winter,
like
fall, autumn, like winter, fall, the first season. Estación. And then temporada es like estamos en la temporada de Navidad, estamos en la temporada de verano, o en la temporada. It's like just how depending on what you're saying in the sentence.
Okay.
Keep practicing.
That's right. Keep practicing. Practice makes perfect.
Thank you.
That's right. Well, I will definitely share that with him. I'm sure he'd love to just sit and listen to you talk, because his teacher is, I think her first language is English, but to me anyways, you would never know it. She sounds like she was, Hispanic or Latino or, something. I was like, wow. So I don't know. I need to ask her. I can't remember what her name is now, what her maiden name was, but it is not a name that sounds like it would be Hispanic or Latino. It's not like Godwin, or it's a name that's like Godwin. It's not like Morales or something like that. Anyways. All right, guys. Well, shoot me any questions that you have. I can find you guys on Facebook, or I can try to. And see, or you guys find me on Facebook, and we'll just see you guys next week. And if you guys have any questions, just don't hesitate to ask. All right, you guys have a great week, and love you guys, and you guys have fun and practice, and don't get into an accident while you're practicing your words though in the car. So no accidents. So, right, absolutely. All right, we'll see you guys later. Bye.